Why are slip and fall cases so difficult? Slip and fall cases are a type of premises liability case where an injured person holds a property owner or property manager accountable for causing harm. Pretty straightforward, right? Except these slip and fall cases are historically extremely hard for injured people to obtain justice. Here are some of the reasons why slip and fall cases can be so challenging. Lack of objective evidence. Think about it. If there's a car wreck, there is often damage to a vehicle or vehicles which corroborate an injured person's statement that a crash did in fact occur. That is not always the case with a slip and fall injury. There may not be any witnesses beyond the injured person. There may not be video cameras to record what actually happens. Oftentimes, it is this lack of objective evidence that can make a slip and fall case so challenging. Soft tissue injuries. Slip and falls can result in all sorts of injuries. We've seen torn rotator cuffs, we've seen broken hips, we've seen fractured vertebrae. We've also seen where the injuries to a person didn't show up on an x-ray. These are called soft tissue injuries. Now, don't let the term soft tissue confuse you. Soft tissue injuries can be incredibly painful, result in diminished range of motion, and reduced enjoyment of a person's life. The absence of injuries that can be shown on an x-ray or an MRI can make slip and fall cases extra challenging. Causation. It can be a challenge in slip and fall cases to prove what caused the slip and fall. Sometimes it can be obvious. A wet floor from a leaking freezer, a cracked sidewalk that results in unevenness, a known obstruction in a commonly traveled path. But sometimes it's not so obvious. We've had cases where a snow removal company essentially hid where the curb began by improperly shoveling snow onto that curb. We've had instances where stores didn't conform to construction norms when building a handicap ramp that resulted in significant injury to someone just trying to walk into the establishment. Sometimes people are so injured by their slip and fall, they don't know what caused them to fall, and significant investigation has to be done. Again, unlike a car crash, it's not always obvious what caused the person's injury. Knowledge of the hazard. An owner of property or manager of property can only be responsible for hazards they know about or should have known about. Owners and managers of property regularly deny they knew or should have known about a hazard. We never take owners of property or managers of property for their word. This is another reason why slip and fall cases can be so difficult. Comparative fault. In Indiana, a person's recovery is reduced by the same percentage that a jury determines that person contributed to their own injury. In slip and fall cases, the owners and managers of property regularly try to insist that an injured person is at least more than 50% at fault for their own injury. That's a magic number because if a person is 51% at fault for their own injury, they cannot recover, period. In a recent Indiana case, the jury decided the injured person was at least 40% at fault for their own injury and thus reduced her compensation by 40%. Back to the question at hand. Why are slip and fall cases so hard? Well, the insurance companies for the property owners and managers of property argue, hey, there wasn't a hazard to cause a slip and fall. Oh wait, there was a hazard? Well, we didn't know about it and there's nothing we could have done about it. Oh wait, we did know about it? Well, then the person is exaggerating or faking their injuries. Oh wait, they're not exaggerating or faking? Well then, that person is at least equally at fault for their injuries because, they should have been looking where they're going. All that's nonsense, but these are the common reasons why slip and fall cases are so challenging. But I've got a secret for you. Here at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, we don't mind hard cases at all. In fact, I personally hate it when property owners and managers of property try to blame the victim to minimize their own shortcomings. If you or a loved one have been hurt in a slip and fall case, call us so we can talk about your options. Our phone number is 317-632-3642. Let us help you get full justice.